Hello there and welcome back. My name is Fumi from Bet Media, and today's video we'll be talking about Python strings. Strings are fundamental data types in Python and they are used to represent text-based data in your program. So in this video, we would cover almost everything you need to know about Python strings. You would learn how to create them, manipulate them, and use them in your programs. So you need zero programming experience in order to follow along in this video. So let's get started. For this tutorial, we'll be using the Jupyter Notebook, and this Jupyter Notebook would be available for download when we're done. We're starting with Python strings. What is Python string? It's a data structure that represents a collection of character. And the thing about strings is that they are immutable data types that once you create it, you cannot change it. And then it's also the storage manipulation of text data as well as representation of names, addresses, or any other sort of information. So the thing about string is that they can be surrounded by either a single quote or a double quote like you see here. So either putting your string in a single quote or a double quote specifically means the same thing. So if we run this, it prints out hello. So this is a string. Sequence of letters in a quote is a string. Now we're going to assign a string to a variable. Assigning a string to a variable is done when you have a variable name followed by an equal sign and your string. So now we'll do that. My variable name is text, and then my equal sign, and then my quotation mark. Remember that your string is not a string if it's not in a quotation mark. So there you have it. That is my variable. I've assigned my string to my variable. And if I want to print out my string, I just have to do print txt and then run the code and it prints out my string. The naming of your variable is a very important thing when you have like long lines of code. It has to be something that represents what you're trying to do with the string or with the whatever you're assigning to the variable. So always be careful when you're choosing your variable name. So there you have it. We've assigned a string to a variable. Our variable is text followed by the equal sign and then our single quotation mark and then our string, and we can easily print out the string using the print function. So far we have added our strings on a single line, but what if we want to have multi-line strings? This is possible. We can assign multi-line strings to a variable using three quotes. You see here we use a single quote and here a single double quote. But if we want to do multi-line string, it has to be three quotes. Let me show you how you do that. So my variable is a for this case, and then the equal sign. Do not forget that, and then quote. So first quote, second quote, third quote. So that is the three quotes. You see, Jupyter automatically adds the three ending quotes. And then our multi-line string. This is our multi-line string assigned to our variable. So now if you want to get your string, you just have to click print the variable and then you run it and you have your multi-line string. You see, you have it exactly how you've written, how you've assigned it. So you see, it ends with a comma, your string ends with a comma, and then let's try this. Let's move and then run again, and you'll see. So if you want to print out your string exactly how you've assigned it, and it is a multi-line string, you use the three quotes. So we've used the three single quotes. Let's try it with the three double quotes. So now I'm assigning my variable and then my first double quote, second double quote, and third double quote. And then let's paste our string and let's print it out. Sorry, print B. And when we run, you see we get it. So these are the ways you can print out multi-line strings. You can assign multi-line string to a variable by using three quotes. That's it. Next, we'll be talking about indexing. By this I mean we have a string and we want to access elements of the string. Like many other programming language, Python is strings in Python are an array of bytes representing Unicode characters. However, Python doesn't have a character data type. So a single character is simply a string with length of 1. And here we'll use square brackets to access elements of a string. So now let's have our string. First, we assign it to the variable and put it in quotes. And I have hello everyone. And now I would like to print out a single character. So we have our C, and the thing is we put it in a square bracket. So what I would do here is what is called positive indexing. That is counting from the front. So in Python, we usually start counting from 0. So our H here is 0, our E is 1. I know usually you would want to count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but in Python, it usually starts from 0. So this is positive indexing, going from the first to the last. We'll talk about negative indexing next. So now I want to access the first character of my string. So that is print C, and then I put 0. And see, when I run this, it prints out H. What if I want to access the space between the hello and the everyone? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I'll be printing C of 5. And when you run this, you get the space. To get the C of 6. And when we run it, we get our he. So that is like the simplest way of accessing or getting out the single character uh, in Python using positive indexing. Next, we move to negative indexing. So similar to list, I'll make a video about it shortly. Python allows negative indexing for a string. What I mean by negative is that instead of counting from the first letter of the string, we will be counting from the end. So Python also allows you to do negative indexing. So now let's have a string D. Let's still use the same string as before. We have hello everyone. And now to print out, we have C and D, and then a square bracket. But now we'll start counting from the last E. So our last E would be -1, -2, -3, -4. So we want to print out the Y. That would be -4, and then we'll run that and we get our Y. So Python is amazing that we can print positive, we can do positive indexing and negative indexing. So you start count -1, -2, -3, 4, -5, -6, and it goes on and on and on. So that is negative indexing. So next we'll be talking about the string length using the length function. I know we've been working with like really short string, and to get the length you can easily like count it. But what if you have like a long string or a multi-line string like saw earlier? So first we'll try it out with a small string and also with a long string. So then we have hello. This is a simple short string. You can already tell that we have five five letters in our string. And now if we want to print this out, for print, we're using the len function, and then we want to print out the length of our variable. So that's what we have, the print, and this is the function to get the length of your string, length of E, and when we run it, we get 5. So what if we want to print like a very, very long string? For example, remember our multi-line string, and then we have print, same length, len of f. And then when you run it, we get our length of a string. So instead of counting individually by using the length function, we can get our string length. So now we're doing two different things. We're going to check if certain phrases or characters are present in our string, and also we want to check if they are not present in our string. This is useful when you have a lot of strings and then you want to check if the phrase actually exists because you cannot go through it and search manually. So now let's have our string. We're assigning our variable g, and then we have our quote. Oh, I already have it in the quote. So here we have our quote. And what we want to do is, as you can see, Python is amazing and easy to use. So we like to search if and is in our string. As you can see, it is there. So then we have and what we would use is the word in G. So if you read it literally, it means we're trying to print and in G. So what it does is it goes to G and searches for and then if it finds and, it lets us know that it found and. If it doesn't find and, it lets us know that and is not in the string. So when we run this, we get true because truly and is in the string. So what if we're trying to print something that doesn't exist in the string? For instance, we have but. As you can see, but doesn't exist in the string, and then we run, we get false because truly but is not in the string. So then the next thing is to check if not. We have a lot of strings. We want to check if a character or a phrase is not present in the string. So now we have h. We're assigning our string to a variable. Again, Python is amazing and easy to use. I hope you agree. And now we want to print. We see but is not in the string. So we want to print but if it's not in H. The same thing, we're checking the string, and if but is not in the string, it should return true, as but is not in the string. So when we run this, we see it truly returns true. But what if we want to check for something that is in the string? We're checking if it is not, but we have an in the string, so it should return false because and is truly in the string. So this is the method of searching for your string, checking your string if it contains a particular character or phrase. You use in if you're checking if it is in the string, and you use not in if you're trying to check if it is not in your string. Next, what we're doing is Python slicing. Imagine you have a long string and you don't want to print out everything. You only want to make use of just a part of the string. So let's h assign to a variable. Let's still use our Python is amazing and easy to use string. And now we want to slice. Now let's imagine that we only want to print out amazing. That's the only thing we would like to print out. So then we would have print. We don't need the or string, just amazing. We would have I, which is our variable, and then in square bracket. Remember that to access elements of the string like we saw earlier, we make use of square brackets. So in this case too, we also make use of a square bracket. And then we have a column. I like to put the column first to explain. So we have the column, and now we would have to have entries in the before the column and after the column. Before the column, we would write the index of where we want our starting index, and after the column, we'll have our ending index. So now we said we want to print the A, amazing. So remember that counting in Python starts from zero. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can see that our amazing starts from 10. So our starting column, our starting index is 10. And then we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You see it ends at 16. So we'll then have 16. But when you put 16, it's going to stop at the index before that one. So we have to put 17. So it knows that we really want to stop at 16. So when we print it out, we see we have amazing. So you see the first before the column is your starting index. And then the second one is your ending index plus one. So it stops at the index before your end, before what you put behind the column. Again, so our A is 10, and then the G is at 16, but we want it to stop at 16. So we specify that we want it to stop before 17, which is what we have here. So if we want to also want to print out Python, so you know that we start from 0. So our P is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means it is 5, but we want it to end at the end. So it's 6. So we have 0 and 6. And when we print out, we'll print out Python. So I'll use slicer string, use your print, your variable, and then in the square bracket, your column. And then before your column is your starting index. And after your column is your ending index plus 1. And that is how you slice a string. So now I would like to perform string operations. String are one of the most used data types in Python because they can be used for a wide variety of operations. So the first thing we want to do is to compare two strings, and we'll use the double equal sign to compare two strings, and then if they are equal, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. So I'm gonna to create three strings. As you can see, we're using the double equal sign operator. Remember, for assigning variable, we use the single equal sign because we're assigning the string to the variable. But when we're trying to check if both are equal, like they're exactly the same thing, we use the double equal sign. So now I want to check if j is equal to k and if j is equal to l. So then I have j, my double equal sign, and then k. As you can see, they are not equal, so I'm expecting it to print false because they are not equal. And what if we want to print for the one that is equal? We have j, and then our double equal sign equals to l. And then when you print it, you see we have true. I've commented this out. Use the hashtag to comment out things that you want the notebook to ignore. So then j equals to l. We see that they are the same, and then we get true. And the next thing in our Python string operator is like we would like to join two or more strings together. We would like to concatenate two or more strings. And in this case, we'll be using the plus operator, the addition operator. So I created two strings. We have our hem is hello and our hen is word. And we would like to join these two strings to one string to make it hello world. So this is how we do it using the plus operator. So we'll assign another variable equals to m plus n. So we're telling the different book that we're trying to add m and n together. And then we'll print O. And when we run it, we get hello world. So it has added the two strings together. But what if I would like to have space in between? So here in my hello after the comma, I can put a space. So now it knows that there should be a space between my two words. And if I run this, see, I get the space. So this is how you join two strings to Python using the addition operator. The final part of this tutorial is updating string. And by reassigning a variable to another string, we can update an already existing string. And the new value may even be connected to the old string or it might be something entirely separate. So, for instance, we have hello everyone, and I would like to say goodbye everyone because this is the final tutorial. So, we have print. This goodbye would then take the position of hello. So, the first thing I would like you to print is goodbye. And then you see that we're about to join two strings together. And what the reset would use the plus operator. So now, what do I now want to join my goodbye to? It's with everyone. So now I want to access everyone out of the string. Okay. So we have P, which is my variable, and then I have my square bracket, and then I have my column. So where do I want to start from and where do I want to end? So I have 0, remember you count from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to start from 6. So I'll put 6 here. And I think I can leave it like this. So 6 and then till the end. So you know that the end is till the end of the string. So see, we have our variable, hello everyone. We would like to replace it with goodbye everyone. So when we run, yeah, we see goodbye everyone. So that's how you update your string. Print the string you want to start. If it's that I want to change hello everyone to hello Python, then I'll first print out the part I want from my previous string and then the plus Python. So there you have it. This is the end of the string tutorial. In this tutorial, we started from defining our string, assigning our string to variables, multi-line strings, indexing, negative indexing, string length, and we were able to check if something exists in the string or not. And we also did slicing, and we did string separation, we did the equal, and then we joined and concatenate, and also finally we updated the string. To download this Jupyter notebook, check the link and you should be able to download it for free. If there's anything you would like me to cover in strings, let me know in the comments and I'll make an updated video. Thank you and bye for now.